The Local Show. Join Tom and Steve as they talk with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts, continues now.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to see you all. Can we see anybody at all?
I can see you, Tom.
Well, there we go. We can see each other. It's nice to have you hear us. And, of course, where do they put the video? Because we are video streaming or what have you, this whole thing. So do you know where it goes? How do people get it?
Yeah, actually, you know what? If you want to go onto YouTube and look up the Zoe Advertising YouTube channel, you'll be able to see segments from some of our past shows and shows in the future, individual, and the whole one.
Oh, okay. So right there on that YouTube.
Yep, they can watch the magic happen. They can see your and Steve's handsome faces.
Lovely. That's wonderful. That's great. Yeah, I hope they use filters or something. We got our producer guy there, Brad. I hope he can do some magic, especially on me, because that could be a deal breaker for some people.
No.
Hey, look, somebody who's supported the show has been Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. They are a wonderful team of individuals who help you protect your home and life savings. And who doesn't want to do that?
Oh, no, exactly. When you've worked your whole life for something and you want your family, your descendants, you want them to benefit from it. And I can't imagine why you would put yourself in a position to not do that.
Exactly. And with, the expenses of a nursing home being $14,000 a month in some cases, that just blows my mind that it can be that much.
And it's just going to keep going up.
Yeah, that's right. So call Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts at 370-9977, 370-9977. And they, my friends, will hook you up with a consultation, and you can talk to John and Marie and the whole team over there, and they'll make sure that you don't lose it all. Okay, so safeharborwillsandtrusts.com. Right now, it's our pleasure to speak with a perennial favorite here on the show, and his name is George Powers, owner of Powers Accounting. How are you, George?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Very good, my friend. Taxes, taxes, and more taxes.
Oh, boy, aren't taxes fun?
Things I don't know about.
Yeah, right. Well, the federal government certainly has enough agents to take care of people.
Not yet, they don't.
Oh,
they need to be hiring more.
When do they do that? When does that all go into effect?
Well, it's supposed to be over the next 10 years.
Oh, I see.
They will be working in it, but at the same time, the Irish agents are retiring, so they really do need more people.
Isn't that something?
It's problematic right now. But
is that for processing, really? Yes. So sometimes... And hey, let's face it, there's drama on all sides of the political spectrum. And we talk about that all the time, right, George?
Yep.
But in reality, there aren't enough agents to actually process the stuff. It's not that they're going to come banging on your door. A lot of people say, we're going to come after the little guy. Not necessarily.
They're not coming after the little guy, because if you think about the numbers, they're not going to spend a lot of time to find a couple $1,000s.
Right.
It's cost too much money. They're looking after bigger numbers. Not that they're not going to audit people, but a big percentage of these people are going to be on the telephones. Try to call the IRS now. You're lucky to get them in 2 hours on hold. Many times you wait on hold 2 hours and they kick you off, saying you waited too long.
Why would you want to call the IRS, by the way?
A lot of simple reasons. For example, you send in an estimated tax payment and they apply it to the wrong year. It's an accident or something happens. Maybe you wrote the wrong thing. It's a simple fix. We used to be able to call them up and say, hey, you've got this mark in your 2022 bucket. We need it in the 21 bucket. That's where it was intended. Right. Get someone on the phone. They did it. Oh, great. We're all set and done. Yeah. You can't do that now. So it makes little problems big. So there is no customer service with the IRS. We can't solve any of those simple kinds of things. Yes, some of the audits are challenging. We have a lot of greenhorned auditors, and the worst.
What's that mean?
New. And the worst audit you ever want to go into is someone who's never done an audit before.
Oh, goodness!
Because they look at everything. They're not looking at reasonableness, where an experienced auditor will look at things because they're looking for big numbers. They're looking for big things. They're not looking for, the $2 off. The new ones are, you've got to train them.
Yeah.
So that's more challenging.
George, how long have you been in business?
27 years.
27 years. Look at that.
And don't want to say that too loud.
And you work primarily with small businesses? About how many small businesses?
Depending on how you count them, we have our monthly client care clients, and that's about 120 that we work on a regular monthly basis. basis. And for taxes, we have about 700-800 people that we deal with on a yearly basis, some on that nature with our whole team.
And you have a payroll service as well.
Yeah, we have a payroll made simple.
Yep.
So we got 2 guys running payroll over there. So they do a great job with payroll, without allowing to give all the bells and whistles, but still have a high personal service for our local clients. So.
Well, I wanted to clear that up so that people who are listening will understand that your perspective and the advice that you give and talk about is coming from someone who had 27 years of experience.
In the trenches,
plus.
as they say.
Yeah, in the trenches. So should people fear an audit?
Maybe.
That's a loaded one.
It's oddly threatening.
Yeah, right. That's ominous now.
It depends. If you're the kind of person who takes a lot of money and puts it in your pocket and doesn't report it, you might be a little concerned.
Yeah.
If you're the kind of person that pays a lot of people under the table, wants to deduct it, you might want to be concerned. But for the most part, if you do it the way we consider right, you record your income, you record your expenses. Generally, no one wants an audit. There's always a concern because they're always looking for something you did wrong. And does everybody do 100% right? No.
Yeah.
I can tell you a sales tax audit, there's probably not a business in the state that does it 100% correct for sales tax, because sales tax is such a screwy set of rules. But for the most part, they're not looking, and auditors aren't looking for a few mistakes here and there. They're looking for bigger issues, bigger problems.
What triggers an audit?
It really depends on the situation. Sometimes it's one thing. So, for example, if on your individual income tax return you put down you drove 150,000 miles for mileage deduction, that would probably trigger an audit.
Okay, right. Because they're thinking, where the hell have you driven?
How have you driven that many miles in a year? I've seen that happen. If there's something that is out of the norm by not just a little bit, but by a great deal.
Okay.
And audits come in many different sizes. It might be what we call a letter audit. So if you happen to be a very generous person and you donate 30% of your income to charity, odds are at some point you will get what we call a letter audit. IRS will send a letter and they say, this was your amount of money you had on charitable donations. Please send us proof.
Okay. Yeah.
And you should, if you actually do that, it's not a problem. You get your letters from your whatever the charitable organizations you give. You get them together. You send them in. Not
usually
a
it's
problem
okay.
at all.
Yeah. Right.
So different things. Also, what could trigger an audit is them auditing somebody else.
Okay.
So that happens more in sales tax. They will audit a business, see an invoice that should have sales tax on it that doesn't. That may very well trigger an audit for that person on the sales tax.
Gotcha.
So there are those kind of things that can trigger it, but sometimes it's also just random.
Yeah. So here we are at the beginning of October. So what are some of the timelines people should be aware of in terms of taxes?
October 1st really starts tax planning season, particularly for the businesses, because for the next 3 months is something we can really make changes to in order to affect the 2022 taxes. You can you can buy equipment, you can get some retirement money in. There's a lot of things that you can still focus on and do before the year is out. Once the year's out, there's not a whole lot of things you can still do. There's some, but not a lot that you can still do to reduce your taxes, or to make the decision not to reduce the taxes, just to pay the tax and keep the difference, because that's a legitimate strategy as well. So now, and what you also want to do in this, when you're planning, you want to set it, how much you're going to owe. You want to know that as early as possible, as opposed to April 15th. If you're going to owe $70,000. It stinks to know that in October.
Yeah,
it's worse to know it on April 15th.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Well, look, so people can get in touch with you and you can help guide them through these issues, and they can have a conversation like you and I are having the conversation. Yeah. And Sonia, but Sonia's just kind of...
She doesn't get taxes.
No, yeah.
You will, don't worry.
I don't know if I want to.
You probably don't. But
she's digging through her purse as we're talking, looking for receipts and stuff, and trying to get prepared. Well, look, call George Powers, owner of Powers Accounting, gpowers.com, gpowers.com, or 701-1120. George, thank you for stopping by, and come by again.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, Sonia, you made it through the show, and thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Always happy to be here.
Excellent. And when Steve gets back, I'd still like to have you here. We could keep him in the lunchroom. On behalf of the local show and Tom and Sonia, God bless you and your families. Get some physical activity today and every day. Eat well. Stay focused on healthy living. The local show is heard every Saturday morning from 11 to 1, and then again on Sunday morning from 7 to 9. Listen together with a friend. Until next week, get down to business and keep doing business locally. Tell your friends about The Local Show right here on 570 WSYR 106.9 FM and streaming everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.